This is just a plain old quadratic. It is one that we're going to have to do grouping with. There is no GCF. Do you agree? So I can't pull that out, so then I go straight to my grouping. Make sure if there's a GCF, you pull it out first. So we take those, we multiply them and put it on top. And then this is a positive 1, which goes in the bottom. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to give us negative 30 and combine to give us 1. 6 times negative 5 gives me negative 30. 6 minus 5 gives me 1. So now we're going to replace this middle term. So we write 3h squared plus 6x minus 5, minus 10. And you can see how this 6h minus 5h equals that 1h. Yeah. So then we take our first two and we group them. We take our last two and I group them, making sure that that negative stays with the 5. Look at each parenthesis. What do the first two parentheses have in common? The biggest thing. 3h. They have a 3h, so I'm going to take that out. And what's left when I factor out the 3h? Next to, what's the biggest thing they have in common? And keep in mind, the sign that's right here is always the sign that goes. So then that would leave me with h plus 2. Notice these two are the same. That is one of our factors. The other factors will be the terms on the outside. It's 6 minus 5. So these would be our factors, right? Remember, those are called factors. If I wanted you to solve them, I'd take them both, set them equal to 0, and we'd solve for their roots. And that would be where it crosses the x-axis. Okay? The next one is going to be a sum of cubes. There is no GCF to take out. It's a sum of cubes. The formula goes plus, minus, plus. Those are the signs. You don't have to worry about signs anymore. Take the cube root of the first term, which would be 3a. Is everybody okay with that? Okay. We're going to take that and we're going to put it right there, squared. So what is 3a squared? 9a squared. Now we're going to take the cube root of the last term, 10. We're going to put that right there. Then we're going to take it and we're going to square it and put it right there. So all we have left is the middle term. The middle term is this right here multiplied by this. So what's 3a times 10? 38. Once again, wouldn't matter if it was negative because we already have the sign. The signs are part of the formula. We okay with that? Next one, let's take out everything they have in common. They got a 5 and they got an a. So that leaves me with x cubed minus, how many times does 5 go into 320? 64. This looks like a difference of cubes. So we got 5a, parentheses, this is a minus, and then the formula goes plus, plus. So we're going to take the cube root, and we get an x in the front. We take it and we square it and put it there. We're going to take the cube root of 64, which is 4, and then it goes here, squared. And then we just multiply the two together. 4 times x is 4x. Not negative 4x. We already have the sign. We don't have to worry about the signs when we're doing these. You see the pattern of how they work? Yeah. Yeah? What about long division? So we're going to look at writing. They're giving us some information, and we're going to have to put this together as an equation. Okay? Notice they're always giving us this additional point. We can use that additional point to find our a value. So it says write the equation of the polynomial in factored form with roots of x equals -3, 2/3, and 4. So that means I have x equals -3, x equals 2/3, and x equals 4. And then they said this one has a multiplicity of 2. Okay? So if I were to turn these in factors, all I'm going to do is move them back over to the other side. Because we take factors and we set them equal to 0. So I'm basically undoing that, right? So this is going to end up being x plus 3. The next one is the one you're going to have to do a little work on. So if you look at this, there's two ways of doing it. You could at this point just multiply both sides by 3. That would give me 3x equals 2. And then we would subtract the 2. So you're never going to leave it as a fraction. If you write it as a fraction, it will be wrong. When you're writing factors, there are no fractions in factors. Then we have this last one, which is going to be x minus 4 squared. Everybody okay with that? Okay, now we have the point that it goes through. So we know that y equals, and there's some a value. So to find this out, we're going to plug in. We'll plug in 4 for y, 0 for x. We introduced it a little bit. We kind of just went through it on there, and I wanted to do it just a little bit more. So I plugged in 0 for all my x's, plugged in 4 for the y. Then we just go to simplifying. So this right here is going to be 3. This one would be what? -2? And then this one would be 16. So now we have 3 times -2 times 16. That's why y'all got those big old calculators. Or what's 32 times 32 times 3? 96. So then we're going to have an a value that is -4 over 96. Will that reduce? Oh, yes, it will. Since they're both even, I'm pretty sure it's going to reduce. Yeah. 4 will actually go into 96. How many times? It would go in 24 times. Yes, it would. I agree. So now we're going to go back and write the equation. So we go back up top and we got y equals negative. And keep in mind, I'm letting you do it in factored form so we don't have to multiply this huge thing out. So it'll just be -1 over 24. And then you go back up and write x plus 3. 3x minus 2. And x minus 4 squared. It would take us a few minutes to multiply all that out. We're okay with that? Okay, so now in the next one, let's see if you can get the factors. Y equals a. What are our factors? It's usually a real good idea to make them x equals this, just like I showed you. Otherwise, we tend to make errors with it. Mm-hmm. So if I have x equals -5/2, I multiply both sides by 2. And then I can add the 5. and now it's equal to 0, like we take our factors and set them equal to 0. Then, of course, we have this x equals 0. Well, that's just an x right there. And then the last one is x equals 5, so that would be x minus 5. And I wouldn't need this last parenthesis over here. What do we do to find our a value?
You plug in the -8 for y and 2 for x.
So we'll plug in the -8 for y. Everywhere there's an x, we're going to plug in 2. And then we're going to simplify and solve for our a value. So let me know when you find a.
For a, I got 4 over 27.
Do we have a second for that? You got 54?
So you can simplify it.
You got 54?
8 and 54.
Let's see, this is 2 times, this would be 9 times -3. Is that right? So -8 divided by -54, which equals what? What? Did you reduce 8 over 54?
8 over 54?
Yeah? Yes. So then we're going to go back to the beginning and we're going to just change out our a for 4 over 27, x, 2x plus 5, and x minus 5. So do yourself a favor. Make sure you write out that first piece because then it'll help you when you get to the end and you need to go back and write it out. Once again, that's another place we make errors. When we're trying to do too much in our head, that's where our errors get made. Ready for the last thing? I think we have a graph. Okay, so given this graph, it says write the equation of the polynomial graph below in factored form. The graph goes through the point -1, 4. So there's our -1, -4. What else do we know? We have a root right here at 1. And what about this root? Okay, so let's see if you can write out the factors. Y equals a. Did you get x plus 3 squared?
Yeah.
Did you get x minus 1?
Yeah.
Why did I square it?
Because it goes down.
Because it bounced. Very good. Yeah, it's multiple. Okay. So then we're going to plug in our point. So we got -4 is our y. -1 is our x. So let's see if we can figure out our a value. Those are the only two roots, right?
A equals 1/2.
This would be 4, -2. So we got A equals -4 divided by -8, which equals 1/2. So y equals 1/2 x plus 3 squared, x minus 1. Wow.